Um, Hello everyone, welcome to our Group 1 presentation about case study. Our case study will be about Disney now. As you all know, Disney is our most favorite dreamland since our childhood. But as time flies, what makes Disney still drive on and so successful in any platform? Um, First, before we jump right in, what to expect in our presentation would be the introduction, the problem Disney is trying to solve, and the key takeaway from their success. Um, some tips about Disney now is the TV Everywhere app and launched on September 29, 2017. And it born on the sixth step of design system thinking, empathies, define, ideate, prototype, test, and implement. Let's jump right in the first step of design system thinking that Disney has applied, the empathies.
So the first step of the design thinking framework that Disney use is the empathize step. So for the empathize phase, the Disney team wants to learn more about their target audience, which is kids from age 2 to age 14. So they conduct a research experience at Children's Hospital in Los Angeles. They install a virtual reality experience for kids to have fun when they are waiting for the medical procedure. After all, this research project is aimed to help the team to gain insights and to empathize with the kids. And after the empathy phase, the team move on to define the real problem. So what is the problem that Disney are trying to solve? Before the release of Disney Now in 2017, Disney have three different apps in the market: Disney Channel, Disney Junior, and Disney XD. The three apps basically have the same user interface, and their main difference is the movies available on the apps. So the reason of having three apps is they believe that kids at different age will have interest in different movie. However, the reality show that it is not really make sense to have three different apps. The kids tend to watch movie in all three apps. They install all three apps on their devices. So one app that can merge all three apps together will be a lot more convenient, and it can help to reduce the error of using and switching between the apps. Moreover, most of the television apps and the website available at the time are very utilitarian, which is they are used for marketing tool and they don't really focus on user experience. So the Disney team want to create something that gives an immersive experience, that want to capture the magic of Disneyland into an app experience, and they want to completely transform the user from using the app. And that's how Disney now define their problem and their way of approaching the solutions.
So having a clear direction of driving on the app, Disney proceeded to experiment with different ideas to achieve that. This is shown in the ideation process. So in the first stage, they experimented at Disneyland by creating 10 teams from 60 professionals from every area of Disney channels with specific expertise ranging from engineering, marketing to content development. The team examined the real environment at Disneyland with its different stimuli, such as design details, background music, to facilitate user transportation to Disney. Next, in the second stage, the tool of brainstorming is utilized to generate as many ideas as possible, while at the same time achieving the aims of delivering the same feelings in a virtual world, or in this case, an app. The team then tests and narrow their ideas in regard to the four thinking perspective. The spectral perspective evaluates the customer journeys. The tool here is the equivalent of a mock test, with the team acting out the experience as the user is experiencing it. And for the dreamer perspective, the teams aim for something special to create surprise moment, Easter egg that pop up with sound or animation or colorful symbol for each tabs on the screen. So move to the realist perspective, which helps scope out the effort and the cost of doing all of that. And the final perspective, critics, is to engage stakeholders like sales marketing teams in the conversation about the vision of the product. And by doing so, they were reinforcing commitment to the products as an organization, thus making the subsequent development long-term and sustainable. So in the third phases, it's obvious that the team had experimented with ideas that were appealing to users, one that were filled with imagination, but also grounded in feasibility and critical thinking. About the fourth stage is about finalizing idea through categorizing Ocean One into different product pillars, such as heritage, reward, and content. By agreeing on commonly shared pillar, the final product vision is more solid and therefore supported by all the members. And the last stage is to present using a roadmap. This helps visualize the product, the meticulous process of arriving at it, and possibly the implication for further revision down the line. So as we can see, throughout the whole process of ideation, Disney follows systematic approaches with different thinking toolboxes to complement the process, which further facilitate the execution of their ideas as follows.
Okay, so now they have a bunch of, can you go back to the previous slide, please? So now they have all the ideas. So they move from the ideation stage to the prototyping and testing. And in the first attempt, they invited a group of 24 children aging from 6 to 8 years old into a focus group. And in the focus group, they presented their ideas to the children and asked for their opinions. But unfortunately, this first attempt was not successful because focus group was quite hard and stiff and like try for the children to understand. So they move on to the second attempt where they use a more innovative and creative and interactive method of prototyping and testing. In this attempt, what they did was invite the children to come to the pitch fest where they would generate ideas themselves, pitch to their peers, and vote for the top favorite ideas. The team would then bring the ideas of the children, make them a prototype, and 2 months later, they brought the prototype back and asked for feedback from the children. And they also use other toolboxes such as brainstorming, card sorting, and word associating. And these toolboxes really help facilitate the whole process. So the second attempt was successful at the end for several reasons. But here we can learn two critical lessons from the example. The key word here is that collaboration. In their prototyping and testing, they really make an effort to collaborate with the children and to make them happy, to make them enjoy the whole process. And they also collaborated with the internal staff in different departments, engineering, design, product. And they combine those different departments by using KPIs to keep everyone on the same page. So now we are done with the prototyping and testing. Let's see how the results turn out.
So now if you go online and you search for Disney Now, you probably will not find the app. The app does not exist anymore, but there's one thing that's still left, that is their website. So if you go onto their website, you will see something like this. First of all, you can see a lot of cool pictures of the characters of Disney and a lot of their shows and movies. On the Disney Now website, you can customize your own accounts and emoji, just like normal social media. You can watch movie shows all on this own platform, And one more thing is that they have really cool interactive images and sounds whenever you click onto something that even made me, an 18-year-old college student, find it fun. So obviously kids will find it fun as well. And that is the result of the process of design thinking at Disney. So now let's go back and summarize the whole process, starting from the very top, empathizing, to defining, and then ideate the solution, then prototyping, and in the end, testing. This follows a very similar process that we learn here at Design and System Thinking class as Fulbright. But one more thing that I want to emphasize before we move on is that this process is not linear, but it's actually interactive, which means it can go back and forth, it can go into circle, it doesn't have to start from the beginning to the end. And like Kimberly Hicks, the former vice president of products, games, and interactive at Walt Disney Company had said, don't ever feel once you get to prototyping or testing that you just have to keep moving forward. I think you also have to be brave enough to cancel something. And Kimberly Hicks also said that she doesn't think that it would just automatically work in any organization. So that means design thinking is hard. So why in this case with Disney Now did Disney succeeded? And after looking deeper into it, I think there are two things that make Disney succeed. First of all, they focus heavily on their targeted user. They communicate, they brainstorm, they test ideas with their targeted user, which are kids. And secondly, they understand their core value. They dig for root causes, they try the user experience themselves, and they involve all stakeholders in the making of this app in order to capture the Disney magic. And even though this app does not exist anymore, it's a proof that shows that Disney have a great dynamic environment and that it is open for design thinking. And this is a good stepping stone for future project at Disney, which make them a big animation company that we all know and love. And that is the end of our presentation. Thank you very much for listening.